Hey guys, so I went short in here. We have a higher time frame SMT right here. So with ES at the highs right here, and I did not want to basically participate in the move right here if you do not have a lower time frame SMT, and we did get that right here with basically the highs, and now we are also within our 10 AM macro. So I want speed to the downside. We have a relatively equal liquidity draw. Macro, wait, there. We have New York open kill zone, says liquidity in close proximity to London lows, and also eventually we have the Asia lows in here as well. So yeah, we have to see. Yeah, really late entry actually. I don't really like it in that case. But in that case, or sometimes we do not really have yeah a other chance, I would say. ES is or was is trading low as well, and we also do have some nice targets on the regular trading hours chart. So we just commit to the trade, only low risk due to the relatively huge risk in that case. Or we still need to place our stop above the invalidation point, which is the swing high of the SMT in here. I would like to see that a high within, or we need to have actually a high which should be already within the suspension block right here. So therefore don't want to see that we take out the SMT right here. And after we take out the New York open kill zone says liquidity, maybe I go break even. We have to see. I would like to see actually that we just dump through it and maybe even reach for the lower quadrant. So that's actually, wait, let's check. Lower quadrant right here is the lower quadrant of the new open range gap still from Wednesday, but is definitely in close proximity to price. Therefore, I keep it on my chart. And today as well, you can see we have also a new opening range gap of 120 handles plus, but we did not respect the upper quadrant. Therefore, we are not interested in longs. Therefore, I want to see if you can reach for consequent encroachment and also maybe the lower quadrant of Wednesday's new opening range gap. So maybe I will just leave it like there. Let's go back to electronic trading hours. So now close to New York open kill zone size liquidity. To see how we trade there. Actually difficult conditions, especially for risk management. So right here, I would like to go break even with sweeping the New York open kill zone size liquidity. Because it's definitely a potential where we could reverse. And I think I will do that, or I will at least lower my risk above the high, above the wick right here. We only wicked it. Would like to see that we actually close below it, also reach for the London lows, which are relatively equal. Yeah, I like the delivery, and maybe you can even reach for the consequent encroachment level. That would be perfect. So now going back break even after we scrapped also the London lows, because now that's basically either your profit area, and if you still want to reach for lower prices, you still or definitely have to be break even in that case, because that's definitely a reasonable area for price where we can retrace, especially because we have huge SMT with ES. So NQ is way ahead of yes, in that case, we actually like that. I like that we can still trade lower. And yeah, also relatively clean price regions right here. So 25,800 and yeah. I think I will even lower my risk to profit 25 bucks, really clean. Compared to my usual risk, that's actually really low today. But yeah, just wanted to basically practice. Could have entered actually also with 2 contracts, but yeah, I'm fine with that. I would like to see that we hit my profit target. Actually, still looking good in that case. And I would like to see that we reach consequent encroachment. So you will see. Nice. I really like that. Should be filled, and we got it right here. Yeah, and that's basically the trade for today. Yeah, really clean actually, I have to admit. 85 US dollars. Yeah, that's what I want to trade. That's perfect. Yeah, and we are still seeing some speed to the downside. Definitely with more contracts, you could, yeah, just leave a runner. With one contract, in that case, I want to be out after you scrapped session liquidity twice and traded to a regular trading hours quadrant. But really clean. So maybe let's break this trade down. First, let's drop to the daily chart. So actually today is really difficult. Why? Just by the look of the daily chart, you know, we are trading within yesterday's price range. Therefore, we have a more difficult day because we will not expect that we reach external liquidity. Therefore, it's definitely a day where we can expect lower volatility and maybe more retracement behavior, not really expansion behavior. So let's drop to a 1 hour chart. Actually, also really interesting right here. We have really clean session liquidity. Why? Because we have, or maybe let's drop to a 50-minute chart. We have sorry guys, Asia session. Sell liquidity right here. We have London sell liquidity and scrap London highs. And also New York Open Kill Zone sell liquidity, as I already mentioned, is also really equal to London lows. And so therefore a really clean draw for price is to reach for the low resistance sell liquidity in that case. What really was basically confirming my bearish bias is the fact that we have a higher time frame bearish SMT, or in that case a bullish SMT on NQ. But in that case, I'm really expecting lower prices, that basically NQ will follow ES lower. But I really don't want to participate in anything in here. So that's really messy. I want to basically let the market breathe a bit. So we have the opening price right here, 930. And so therefore we are really early in the day, and the setup is kind of already in play because you have already SMT. We reached basically buy sell liquidity. We are in that case also overbought, but don't really have a clean CC in here. So there's no really valid change in state of delivery. And we also, I would prefer to have a lower time frame SMT. I was really looking at the highs right here. To me, that looks kind of perfect for SMT, but actually we also formed on ES a lower low, so therefore that was not a SMT in here. And then we got the suspension block, but still no SMT. So I had to wait. If he basically would have run lower from here, I would be fine with that. I'm just not part of the move. But then we had a really lower time frame SMT in here. So NQ failed to take out the high right here. I entered because I knew, okay, if we are going to trade lower, the high within the suspension block has to be in play. And therefore my stop is valid above the swing high right here. That's definitely the valid invalidation point. And we had really clean liquidity draws and also regular trading hours, which I will now basically go to. So that's regular trading hours on the 1 minute chart. Right here you can see we have a new opening range gap which consists of over 120 handles. Therefore, we actually want to see that we only trade back to the consequent encroachment level and then trade higher. But what's really important to understand that there are some days where we will disrespect the quadrant levels and just trade completely through it, and that we basically had a overnight manipulation higher. And that's what the case is basically today. So we had really clean build up engineered sell liquidity over the different sessions, so Asia, London and New York Open Kill Zone. And therefore we expect that we will actually reach at least for consequent encroachment. And what also confirmed my bearish bias was not only the higher time frame SMT right here we had with ES, but also the fact that we right here closed below the upper quadrant level and did definitely not respected it. So the bearish closing candle right here really confirms to me that we are still looking for lower prices. Therefore, I entered right here and aimed for consequent encroachment and also like the lower quadrant of Wednesday's European range gap. You definitely can hold on such days for lower prices as well, especially because we now reached Asia sell liquidity as well, and you can even reach for the low of the European range gap. But in that case, because I'm only trading one contract, I have to be selective with my target, and in that case to I'm really content with that. So sometimes you have to be content with enough because otherwise you will get really caught up if you really can't decide for you when enough is enough. And to me, I'm really content with that. I was not expecting, or I'm not expecting today to be a relatively easy trading day. So therefore, to me, that's in that case perfect. What would also be interesting if we could even sweep the sell liquidity right here and try to trade back into the higher time frame gap in order to completely basically fill in the regular trading hours gap from Thursday. So that would also be very interesting. But yeah, I'm really content actually with the trading day, as I already explained. I think we can also take maybe one more look to to ES. So right here we have ES, and ES was definitely more bearish. So we already swept Asia lows with New York open kill zone. So therefore, not really the easiest trading conditions in that case, because we definitely have also a high time frame SMT with NQ on the lows. But ES formed a lower low, so therefore I know, okay, a market maker buy model right here is not in play because we failed to take out the high right here, basically failed to trade higher with NQ, therefore formed a lower low. That confirms to us that we are still bearish. And then we had the SMT, I think right here, so we took out basically the high, which we did not on NQ. So the huge break to the upside. I will go back to NQ, so we failed to do that. I entered right here and basically closed my position right here. And that's basically it. So smart money reversal once again. We have the right time of interest. We met basically as well our point of interest basically with having a higher time frame SMT also being in play. And also the fact that on the 1 hour chart, you can see we traded above the down close candle right here, which has no wick. That's maybe an insight to me. I really was, how do I explain it? So if you really, so only a really few candles close without a wick to the upside. And it's kind of like the area above a body is like a inefficiency, or I don't really know how to explain it. I just realized it by trading that we really like to sweep bodies where we have no wicks. Therefore, I regard this basically right here as a liquidity sweep. And more importantly, what we also do have is a immediate term high right here. And also we do have a immediate term, basically, short-term high right here and a short-term high right here. So therefore, we don't expect that we will reach basically for the immediate term high. Why? Because we already swept really clean buy sell liquidity. Therefore, I expect the high right here to be in play if we expect lower prices. Therefore, a high should be right here, basically be in play as well, and we can expect lower prices reaching for the sell liquidity right here, which will eventually lead to that we completely fill in the regular trading hours gap from Thursday if we have a bearish bias. But because we don't always want to expect that we will reach for our external targets. Therefore, we take partials at reasonable areas, and therefore we can be profitable even if the market fails to met our objective. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I think see you next week, guys.